Already you have armed your list post-apocalyptic? Have you packed your sleeping bag? Even have you practiced a little melee, just in case? And you wondered where you should go when global pandemics hit or sky starts raining fire? If you can spend time in a self-sufficient rural community, or get to be adopted by a tribe of native people, then probably you can paddle through various flavors of apocalyptic disaster. Here are some specific places that can improve your chances of survival, if you can get there in time. Utah, USA. In the case of a consolidated infrastructure collapse, it would not be a bad idea to try to go to Utah and make friends with some Mormons to store food. The Church of the Latter-day Saints strongly encourages its members to maintain food supply for at least 1 year at hand at all times and maintain some sort of garden staples. It helps ensure that a family can remain self-sufficient if times get tough. All these preparations will also be helpful if the world is going to hell. Just remember to be polite and quit with the swearing. North Korea, Pyongyang. It should be no surprise that a country that thrives on paranoia has made preparations in case of nuclear war. Pyongyang tunnels underground, such as Moscow, supposedly can break a nuclear bunker and keep residents safe underground leaders during continuous airstrikes. But it is not just a nuclear shelter area. According to Hong Jang-yop, a North Korean high-ranking defector, a separate tunnel's underground railway network connects the residence of the president to a private bunker to the then-President Kim Jong-il, his family and senior officials and, perhaps, even South Korea. In addition, Hwang said they're waiting for additional facilities and tunnels beneath the streets of Pyongyang. The big question is whether the government has had a water supply and adequate food. Pitcairn Islands, which lie in the South Pacific without airports or seaports, are remote enough to survive any apocalypse, not change the weather. In addition, Pitcairn comes with the added bonus of fertile land, bananas, papayas, breadfruit, coconuts, citrus, taro, beans and sweet potatoes are all plentiful, and there are many edible fish and lobsters. Just make sure you get along with your neighbors. The population of Pitcairn has about only 50 people. If you want something even more remote with a slightly larger population, you might opt for Tristan da Cunha, located in the South Atlantic and has a whopping amount of 264 residents in the 2010 census. Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado, USA. Installing Cheyenne Mountain was built to withstand a blast. Multi-Megatonica 1.5 nautical miles away, has 6 diesel generators, their own supply of natural water and air filtration system designed to filter chemical, biological, radiological and agents nuclear. Its only entrance is a tunnel, 540 meters from the outside, flows into 2 steel doors 25 tons. On the other hand, there are 18,000 square meters of chambers and tunnels, surrounded by 600 meters of granite, a natural shield in case of attack. London, England. Of course it is even better if you do not have to drive to your accommodation. Shockproof. If you are in London when disaster strikes and London is no longer a heap of ashes, go to Whitehall and the entrance to Pender, the military installation run by the Ministry of Defense. Little is known about the bunker, which was built in the 1990s and is now used as a communications center. However, you wish you probably take a photographic tour in the series of pictures of David Moore, which documents inside Pinda Armati Yamantau, Meskerai, Republic of Bashkortostan, Russia. While some countries stopped building nuclear shelters at the end of the Cold War, Russia was still putting the finishing touches on at least one of their own. Most super-secret closed cities of the Soviet Union opened after the collapse of the Republic, although a dozen remain in Russia and Kazakhstan, including Meskerai, which served the Monty Yamantau project in the Urals. In the late 90s, tens of thousands of workers were sent to the area to work on Mount Yamantau and foreigners were not allowed near the site. causing fears that the facility housed a missile silo or production plant nuclear weapons. However, the Strategic Air Command of the United States members of the press, that is actually a central location in wartime for the most important political leaders of Russia said. In 2000, Congressman Roscoe Bartlett said that the facility was the largest project of nuclear security in the world, strong enough to resist a half-dozen direct nuclear impact. It also states that can accommodate 60,000 people, with enough food and water on hand to keep its population for months. However, the reports are not to be believed. Yamantau have a small flaw. Quartz Mountain hinders radio transmissions, so communication systems outside the installation and can be damaged in an attack. Still, the important thing is to be alive and well fed. Svalbard, Norway. If the apocalypse came and annihilate most of the plant life on Earth, I would hang out somewhere near the Svalbard Global Seed Vault in the Arctic archipelago of Svalbard. After all, the seed bunker was designed to protect plant life in the case of a global catastrophe. Probably you want to start cultivating plants that are native to Svalbard for you and wildlife have something to eat in the short term. Some people may be intimidated by the climate of northern Svalbard, however the islands are considerably warmer than other regions at the same latitude, thanks to the North Atlantic Current. Just be sure to pack your rackets. No roads connecting the settlements of Svalbard. Perth, Western Australia. Perth is one of the most remote cities in the world. Some indicators put it behind Honolulu and Auckland, and although it was first colonized by British settlers in 1829, was not connected with the rest of Australia by train till 1917. And the prosperous Western Australia economy is largely thanks to its rich resources. The region produces almost half of exports of live cattle from Australia, and thanks to the variety of climates and wide open spaces, has a productive and diverse agriculture industry. It also exports large quantities of lamb, wool, lobsters, shrimp and pearls, and therefore has oysters. In addition to this, Western Australia has coal mines, crude oil and natural gas with extensive reserves. Itoquatormiite, Greenland. Few cultures in the world revolve around hunting as their main means of subsistence. However, it is the occupation of most of the approximately 500 residents of the settlement of Itoquatormiite isolated. The area has a wide variety of wildlife, and hunters take home seals, walruses, polar bears and muskox for meat, hides and skins. And Itoquatormiite not dependent on fossil fuels to catch their food. The dog sled is still considered the best way to get across through the tundra snow. Memorize the name, if there is an interrogation, before they let you in their hunting. Bugratch, France. Why the sleepy mountain town is recommended with a population of 200 for the post-apocalyptic. To be honest, residents are not even sure. Bugratch is located at the base of Pygmy Bugratch, which is often called the mountain backhand. According to geologists, the mountain exploded after its formation, and dropping up became down. Its unusual shape has inspired Jules Verne and Steven Spielberg, and attracted hippies and New Age. They believe that emits special magnetic waves. Recently, they have begun to circulate rumors about the end of 2012 in the forums, that the mountain is sacred, and will be protected in the coming apocalypse. Some believe that there are aliens living under the mountain. Rescue anyone who lives about 21 December 2012. We know that the end of the world is a myth, or that's what I believe though. If the cataclysm hit on that date, the best is that well-prepared address to Bugratch survivors. The worst-case scenario is that it could witness a mass suicide led by ancient aliens.